My son's teacher has been giving him strange homework. His latest assignment was deadly. When my son Dylan got a new teacher called Mrs. Wagner, I immediately knew something was wrong with her because of how strange her homework assignments were. On the first day of school, instead of giving the kids a worksheet about what they learned in class, Mrs. Wagner had only one task for the kids: ask their parents 3 questions about their job. I thought it was weird but ignored it, assuming she was just trying to get to know the parents. But every single day, Dylan would come home with weirder questions. From things like researching the saddest deaths in the world, how many people fall victim to murders, and even what the Russian sleep experiment was. But a few weeks ago, Dylan came home and told me he didn't have any homework. I was super confused about why he didn't, but my sweet Dylan would never lie to me, so I just brushed it off. Later that night, when I went into his room to tuck him into bed, I saw that he was passed out on his desk. So as I was carrying him out of it, I realized he was working on his homework, the same one he told me he didn't have. So after putting him to bed, I took the assignment and started to read it. Would I miss my parents if I no longer lived with them? I would miss both my mom and dad. I love them a lot. But I think I'd probably love someone else just as much if I had to. Just like you said today, Mrs. Wagner. What the hell did she mean by if he had to? And why was she telling my kid to imagine living without us? I didn't tell my wife yet because I didn't want to freak her out. But the next morning I walked Dylan to class myself. When I got to the room, Mrs. Wagner was just sitting by herself. "Hi, how's Dylan adjusting?" she asked. But I didn't want to waste a single second. I want to talk about that homework. The one about him not living with his parents? Oh, I was just teaching them about how children are loved by parents, but sometimes others have to take care of them too. I knew she was hiding something. But the second I was about to ask her another question, the bell rang. And when it did, every single kid sat down and stared straight at Mrs. Wagner like they were a robot army, including Dylan. That afternoon when I went to his class to pick him up, all the kids walked out in synchronized steps, not saying a single word. When Dylan got in the car that day, he didn't speak the whole ride home and didn't eat dinner. All he did when he got home was shut the door like he was hiding something. When my wife got home that night, I told her everything, but she didn't say a single word. She just stood up and went straight to Dylan's room to talk to him. 15 minutes after she went in, Dylan came out holding his workbook. "Can you help me with my homework, Dad?" I smiled and started to read what the assignment was about. Research the best way to inject your parents with anesthetic. I didn't even finish the sentence before I felt a stab in my neck. It was Dylan stabbing me with an injection, while not having a single emotion on his face, almost like he was possessed. I collapsed onto the floor, and everything became black. When I woke up 9 hours later, I saw my wife crying on the floor next to me. "He's gone!" Dylan's gone. Her hand was on her neck, with the same scar mark as mine. I wasted no time and grabbed my phone to call the school. "Hi, have you seen Dylan from Mrs. Wagner's class in school today?" I asked. No, actually none of the students from that class showed up to school today. Not even Mrs. Wagner. I hung up and went onto the parent group chat, and every single one of them had the same thing happen to them. Their kids asked for help with homework, then stabbed them with an injection. To make matters worse, no one knew where the kids were. We tried calling the police and putting up missing posters, but nothing came up. That was 6 days ago, and I just got a letter in the mail this morning. It didn't have a return address or a name, just 6 words. "There will be another class soon."